In moments when life feels like an insurmountable challenge, when emotions rage like an uncontrolled inferno within, it's natural to wonder, is there a path that preserves our humanity without succumbing to emotional chaos? Some people misunderstand Stoicism as being about indifference, but in reality, it is not. It's not about extinguishing emotions, but mastering them and turning them into tools for growth and fulfillment. Picture a life where emotions serve as allies, propelling you toward your goals and enriching your experiences. Today, we embark on a journey through Stoic philosophy, unveiling 8 rules that unveil this transformative power within us. These principles don't just promise emotional control, they offer a roadmap to leverage emotions for personal evolution. As we delve into this exploration, let's debunk the myth that Stoicism promotes indifference. Instead, it advocates for a profound understanding and management of our inner world. By subscribing to our channel and ringing the notification bell, you ensure that you're not just a passive observer, but an active participant in this journey of self-discovery. So, let's immerse ourselves in the wisdom of Stoic philosophy, starting with the first principle, acknowledging the potency of emotions. Number 1. Acknowledging emotions. In the Stoic framework, emotions are not seen as obstacles to be overcome or suppressed, but rather as natural responses to the events and circumstances of our lives. Stoics recognize that emotions are valuable indicators of our inner state and our relationship to the world around us. Whether it be joy, sorrow, fear, or anger, each emotion carries its own message, signaling our thoughts, beliefs, and values. By acknowledging our emotions fully, we gain invaluable insight into ourselves, allowing us to better understand our reactions to external stimuli and navigate life's challenges with greater clarity and intentionality. Moreover, acknowledging our emotions prevents them from festering and growing more intense over time. Stoicism teaches us that denying or repressing our feelings only leads to greater suffering in the long run. Instead of bottling up our emotions, Stoics advocate for addressing them head-on, exploring their underlying causes, and learning how to manage them effectively. This proactive approach empowers us to take control of our inner lives, responding to our emotions with courage and clarity, rather than allowing them to dictate our actions. Central to the Stoic practice of acknowledging emotions is the concept of mindfulness. Mindfulness involves bringing our full attention to the present moment and observing our thoughts and feelings without judgment. By cultivating mindfulness, we develop a greater awareness of our emotional experiences and their impact on our lives. This heightened awareness allows us to respond to our emotions more skillfully, choosing how we want to engage with them rather than reacting blindly out of habit or impulse. In addition to mindfulness, Stoicism offers a variety of techniques and practices for managing emotions effectively. These may include cognitive reframing, which involves challenging negative or unhelpful thoughts and replacing them with more constructive ones, or practicing gratitude, which involves cultivating appreciation for the blessings in our lives. Stoics also emphasize the importance of developing resilience in the face of adversity, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth and learning rather than sources of despair. The practice of acknowledging emotions in Stoicism is not about seeking to eliminate or transcend them entirely, but rather about learning how to navigate them with wisdom and equanimity. By embracing our emotions with courage and clarity, we can cultivate greater resilience, authenticity, and inner peace. In doing so, we unlock the door to a life of deeper meaning, purpose, and fulfillment, a life guided by reason, virtue, and the pursuit of eudaimonia, or flourishing. In conclusion, acknowledging emotions is a fundamental aspect of Stoicism and a crucial step on the path to emotional mastery. By fully acknowledging and understanding our emotions, we gain insight into ourselves and our relationship to the world, empowering us to navigate life's challenges with wisdom, resilience, and inner peace. Through mindfulness, cognitive reframing, and other Stoic practices, we can learn to manage our emotions effectively and cultivate a life of greater meaning, purpose, and fulfillment. Stoicism offers a timeless wisdom that continues to resonate with people around the world, providing invaluable guidance on how to live well in an ever-changing world. Number 2. Cut off toxic people from your life. The people we choose to have in our lives wield considerable influence over our emotions, thoughts, and overall well-being. Just as rotten fruit can spoil an entire basket, interacting with toxic individuals can drain our energy and sow doubt in our minds. Stoic philosophy emphasizes self-control and safeguarding our inner peace. While we cannot control others' behavior, we retain the autonomy to select our relationships wisely. Diogenes, the renowned philosopher, famously remarked, "We have 2 ears and 1 tongue, so that we would listen more and talk less," underscoring the importance of mindful discernment in our social communication circles. Toxic individuals manifest in various forms, from perpetual complainers in communication and pessimists to those who habitually stir conflicts or espouse a negative outlook on life. Their presence can sap our motivation, disrupt our mindset, and impede our journey toward self-improvement. Picture yourself amidst someone who incessantly criticizes and disparages others. Initially empathetic, you eventually realize that every interaction leaves you drained and despondent. After deliberation, you opt to limit contact, steering clear of negative conversations and seeking solace in the company of friends who radiate positivity. Stoicism advocates for leading a virtuous life where preserving inner tranquility and prioritizing essentials take precedence. Sometimes this entails making tough choices, like severing ties with individuals who detract from our well-being. This decision is not rooted in malice, but in acknowledgement that, for our mental and spiritual health, certain relationships must be severed or distanced. Doing so not only fosters optimism and motivation, but also fosters personal development. In their absence, we gain space and energy to pursue our aspirations and foster relationships with those who uplift and motivate us. This isn't selfishness, but a vital stride towards autonomy and spiritual liberation. According to Stoic tenets, recognizing our prerogative and responsibility for our own happiness and peace necessitates distancing ourselves from negative influences regardless of their guise. Remember, the journey to mastering our emotions commences by ensuring that external factors align with internal goals. In delving deeper into the impact of toxic relationships, it becomes evident that these interactions extend far beyond mere inconvenience or discomfort. The emotional toll exacted by toxic individuals can be profound, affecting every aspect of our lives, from our mental well-being to our physical health and even our professional success. The negativity they exude can permeate our thoughts, cloud our judgment, and erode our self-esteem. In the workplace, for instance, toxic co-workers or bosses can create a hostile environment, undermining morale and hindering productivity. Similarly, toxic friendships or romantic relationships can foster insecurity, jealousy, and resentment, leaving us feeling emotionally drained and disconnected. The longer we remain entangled in these toxic dynamics, the greater the toll on our overall well-being. Therefore, recognizing and addressing toxic relationships is not merely a matter of personal preference, but a vital component of self-care and self-preservation. Stoic philosophy offers invaluable guidance on navigating the complexities of human relationships with wisdom and resilience. At its core, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of cultivating inner peace and leading a virtuous life, even in the face of adversity. This commitment to self-mastery extends to our interactions with others, guiding us in choosing relationships that align with our values and contribute positively to our well-being. Stoics recognize that while we cannot control the behavior of others, we have the power to choose whom we allow into our lives. This power lies not in seeking to change or control others, but in exercising discernment and setting boundaries that safeguard our emotional health and inner tranquility. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus famously remarked, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This sentiment encapsulates the Stoic approach to navigating interpersonal relationships. Stoics advocate for responding to challenging situations with wisdom, courage, and resilience, rather than reacting impulsively or allowing external circumstances to dictate our emotions. In the context of toxic relationships, this means acknowledging the negative impact of certain individuals on our well-being and taking proactive steps to protect ourselves from harm. This may involve setting boundaries, limiting contact, or even cutting ties altogether, depending on the severity of the toxicity and our own personal boundaries. One of the key principles of Stoicism is the concept of self-control, or apatheia in Greek. Apatheia does not imply a lack of emotion, but rather a mastery over one's emotions and desires. It is the ability to remain calm and composed in the face of adversity, and to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. In the context of toxic relationships, practicing apatheia means cultivating the inner strength to withstand negativity without allowing it to disrupt our inner peace. It means recognizing that we cannot control the behavior of others, but we can control our own responses and choices. By focusing on what is within our control, our thoughts, actions, and attitudes, we can navigate toxic relationships with greater resilience and integrity. Moreover, Stoicism teaches us the importance of living in accordance with virtue, or arete in Greek. Virtue encompasses qualities such as wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, which Stoics strive to embody in their daily lives. In the context of relationships, living virtuously means choosing friendships and associations that reflect these values. It means surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and inspire us, and who share our commitment to personal growth and ethical living. While it may be tempting to tolerate toxic behavior in the name of loyalty or obligation, Stoicism reminds us that true friendship and mutual respect are built on a foundation of virtue and integrity. In practical terms, navigating toxic relationships requires a combination of self-awareness, discernment, and courage. It requires the willingness to confront uncomfortable truths about the nature of certain relationships and the impact they have on our well-being. It also requires the courage to set boundaries and assert our own needs, even if it means risking conflict or disapproval. Stoicism provides a philosophical framework for approaching these challenges with clarity and resilience, reminding us that our ultimate goal is not to control others or seek external validation, but to cultivate inner peace and lead a virtuous life. In conclusion, toxic relationships can have a profound impact on our emotional health, well-being, and overall quality of life. Stoicism offers invaluable guidance on navigating these challenges with wisdom, resilience, and integrity. By cultivating self-awareness, practicing self-control, and living in accordance with virtue, we can protect ourselves from the negative influences of toxic individuals and cultivate relationships that uplift and inspire us. Ultimately, the Stoic approach to relationships is rooted in a commitment to personal growth, ethical living, and the pursuit of inner peace. By embracing these principles, we can navigate the complexities of human relationships with courage, wisdom, and grace. Number 3. Don't let love for someone overwhelm you. Love is indeed a magnificent and profound emotion, weaving threads of connection between individuals and infusing meaning into our lives. Yet, as captivating as love can be, it also has the potential to bring about harm, particularly when it becomes too intense or unbalanced. Stoic philosophers, renowned for their emphasis on emotional equilibrium and rationality, frequently explored the complexities of deep attachment. Marcus Aurelius, a prominent Stoic thinker and Roman emperor, aptly observed, "You control your thoughts, not what happens around you." This insightful maxim underscores the Stoic belief in the power of inner strength and self-mastery, especially in the realm of love and relationships. The essence of Aurelius's wisdom lies in the ability to love deeply without succumbing to overwhelming attachment, a delicate balance that allows one to cherish meaningful connections without relinquishing autonomy or surrendering to emotional turmoil. In our personal lives, we may have encountered moments where the intensity of our affection for someone else threatened to overshadow our own well-being. Perhaps we found ourselves deeply invested in another person, to the extent that their choices or actions began to dictate our own happiness and sense of fulfillment. The pain of unrequited love, the anguish of betrayal, or the disappointment of unfulfilled expectations can all serve as stark reminders of the vulnerability inherent in deep attachment. However, what if we could experience love in its fullest expression while safeguarding ourselves from the potential pitfalls of excessive attachment? The key lies in recognizing that love, like all emotions, is transient and ever-changing. While it may enrich our lives and bring us moments of profound joy, it is not meant to be the sole anchor upon which our happiness depends. Instead, love should be viewed as a guiding force, a gentle breeze that nudges us along our journey, offering counsel and companionship without dictating our every move. Ultimately, the path we choose to follow should be determined by our own desires, values, and aspirations, rather than being dictated by the whims of our emotions or the actions of others. By mastering the art of loving without attachment, we not only protect our hearts from unnecessary suffering, but also fortify our souls with a sense of inner resilience and autonomy. This skill enables us to forge meaningful connections with others without the fear of losing ourselves in the process. It is a crucial step towards achieving true emotional balance, where we remain steadfast in our own convictions and in control of our own feelings, regardless of the external circumstances or the actions of those around us. Practicing love without attachment does not mean distancing ourselves from others or becoming emotionally detached. On the contrary, it involves embracing the full spectrum of human emotions while maintaining a sense of inner equilibrium and self-awareness. It is about loving deeply and authentically, yet remaining grounded in our own sense of self-worth and identity. When we cultivate this mindset, we free ourselves from the shackles of dependency and insecurity, allowing us to experience love in its purest form, as a source of joy, inspiration, and connection, rather than as a source of pain or limitation. In order to cultivate love without attachment, it is essential to cultivate a strong sense of self-awareness and emotional resilience. This involves being mindful of our own thoughts, feelings, and motivations, as well as recognizing the ways in which our emotions may influence our perceptions and behavior. By developing this inner clarity and self-understanding, we can navigate the complexities of love and relationships with greater wisdom and discernment, making choices that align with our own values and priorities. Moreover, practicing love without attachment requires us to embrace a mindset of acceptance and non-attachment. This means letting go of our expectations and desires for how others should behave or how our relationships should unfold, and instead embracing each moment with an open heart and a spirit of curiosity and compassion. When we release our attachment to specific outcomes or expectations, we free ourselves from the burden of disappointment or resentment, allowing love to flow freely and authentically. Ultimately, love without attachment is a journey of self-discovery and personal growth, a journey that requires courage, vulnerability, and a willingness to embrace the inherent uncertainty of life and relationships. It is a journey that invites us to cultivate a deep sense of trust and connection with ourselves and with others, and to embrace the beauty and complexity of the human experience in all its forms. And it is a journey that ultimately leads us to a place of greater peace, fulfillment, and joy, a place where love is not just a fleeting emotion, but a profound and enduring source of strength and inspiration. Number 4. Stop caring for everyone and reduce your empathy. Empathy, often celebrated as a cornerstone of human connection, holds profound significance in our social interactions and relationships. Its ability to foster understanding and compassion allows us to forge deep connections with others, offering solace, support, and validation in times of need. However, as with any virtue, empathy has its limits. Excessive empathy, often referred to as hyper-empathy, can pose significant challenges to our mental and emotional well-being. When we consistently prioritize the emotions and needs of others over our own, we risk depleting our own reserves, leading to emotional exhaustion, burnout, and diminished self-worth. Furthermore, hyper-empathy may hinder our ability to assert boundaries, pursue our own goals, and prioritize our own needs, ultimately undermining our capacity for personal growth and fulfillment. Consider this example. In a bustling city, Sarah, a dedicated social worker, epitomized the essence of empathy. Her genuine concern for others and her unwavering commitment to making a difference in people's lives had earned her widespread admiration and respect. Every day, Sarah immersed herself in the stories of those she served, offering a listening ear and a compassionate heart to individuals facing various challenges. One particular case that deeply touched Sarah's heart was that of Emily, a single mother struggling to make ends meet while caring for her 2 young children. As Sarah listened to Emily recount her hardships, she felt an overwhelming surge of empathy wash over her. Determined to help, Sarah devoted countless hours to assisting Emily, connecting her with resources, offering emotional support, and advocating on her behalf. However, as time passed, Sarah began to notice the toll that Emily's struggles were taking on her own well-being. Despite her best efforts to maintain boundaries, Sarah found herself consumed by worry and anxiety, unable to shake off the weight of Emily's burdens. Eventually, Sarah realized that her excessive empathy was hindering her ability to effectively support others while neglecting her own needs. With the guidance of a mentor, Sarah learned to strike a balance, recognizing that while empathy was a powerful tool for connection, it was essential to prioritize her own self-care and well-being. Through this experience, Sarah discovered that true empathy lies not only in understanding and supporting others, but also in maintaining a healthy relationship with oneself. The words of the ancient philosopher Epicurus resonate deeply in this context. It's your reaction to events, not the events themselves, that truly counts. This perspective underscores the importance of deliberate and mindful responses to the stimuli of life, particularly when it comes to empathy. While the impulse to empathize may arise naturally within us, it is crucial to exercise discernment and self-awareness in deciding when to engage and when to step back. Just as a sponge that continuously absorbs water without being wrung out becomes saturated and ineffective, so too can excessive emotional involvement leave us feeling overwhelmed and depleted. In a world where we are bombarded with stimuli and demands for our attention, it is essential to cultivate a sense of emotional boundaries and self-care. Intentional empathy, therefore, entails a thoughtful and deliberate approach to engaging with the emotions of others. It involves recognizing and honoring our own emotional needs and limitations, while also extending compassion and understanding to those around us. Rather than allowing ourselves to be swept up in every emotional current, we must learn to discern when our involvement is necessary and beneficial, and when it is best to maintain a healthy distance. This does not mean turning a blind eye to the suffering of others or neglecting our capacity for compassion. Rather, it involves striking a balance between empathy and self-preservation. On the path to emotional detachment, the ability to choose when and where to empathize becomes a valuable skill. It allows us to navigate the complexities of human interaction with clarity and purpose, ensuring that our emotional energy is expended wisely and meaningfully. By learning to regulate our empathic responses, we can protect ourselves from needless emotional distress, while still offering genuine support and understanding to those in need. Moreover, intentional empathy enables us to cultivate deeper and more meaningful connections with others. When we approach empathy with mindfulness and intentionality, our capacity to empathize becomes a source of strength rather than a liability. By choosing when and how to engage with the emotions of others, we can offer genuine support and validation without sacrificing our own well-being. This not only fosters healthier and more balanced relationships, but also allows us to maintain a sense of clarity and perspective in the face of life's challenges. In essence, intentional empathy is about finding a harmonious balance between compassion for others and self-care. It involves recognizing our own emotional boundaries and limitations, while also extending empathy and support to those around us. By cultivating this balance, we can navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace and resilience, ensuring that our capacity for empathy remains a source of strength rather than a source of burden. Ultimately, intentional empathy empowers us to forge deeper connections, offer genuine support, and navigate life's challenges with clarity and compassion. However, the journey toward mastering intentional empathy is not always straightforward. It requires self-awareness, mindfulness, and a willingness to confront our own vulnerabilities and limitations. It also involves cultivating a sense of emotional resilience and self-care, allowing us to protect our own well-being while still extending compassion and support to others. One of the key aspects of intentional empathy is learning to set boundaries. This involves recognizing when our emotional involvement in a situation is becoming overwhelming or detrimental to our own well-being, and taking steps to step back and prioritize our own needs. Setting boundaries may involve limiting the amount of time and energy we devote to certain relationships or situations, or it may involve establishing clear communication with others about our own emotional limits and needs. Additionally, intentional empathy requires us to cultivate a sense of perspective and detachment. While it is important to empathize with others and offer support and understanding, it is also important to recognize that we cannot always control or fix the problems of others. Learning to detach emotionally from situations that are beyond our control can help us maintain our own emotional equilibrium and prevent burnout. Practicing self-care is also an essential component of intentional empathy. This involves taking time for ourselves to rest, recharge, and engage in activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. By prioritizing our own well-being, we can ensure that we have the emotional resources necessary to support others in a healthy and sustainable way. Ultimately, intentional empathy is about finding a balance between compassion for others and compassion for ourselves. By cultivating self-awareness, setting boundaries, and practicing self-care, we can navigate the complexities of human relationships with grace, resilience, and authenticity. In doing so, we can cultivate deeper connections, offer genuine support, and navigate life's challenges with clarity and compassion. Number 5. keep your feelings and viewpoints to yourself. In contemporary society, the prevailing narrative often champions the virtues of openness and transparency, particularly when it comes to expressing our emotions. From social media platforms that encourage sharing to self-help books advocating for vulnerability, there's a pervasive belief that emotional authenticity is synonymous with personal growth and fulfillment. However, within this cultural landscape, the importance of discretion, knowing when to reveal our deepest feelings and perspectives, can easily be overlooked. Yet, the Stoic philosophers, with their emphasis on inner peace and self-mastery, offer valuable insights into the subtle yet profound power of discretion in navigating the complexities of human relationships and emotions. Marcus Aurelius famously remarked, "Your life's joy is determined by the nature of your thoughts." This sentiment lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy, which asserts that our inner world, our thoughts, beliefs, and perspectives, ultimately shapes our experiences and emotions. In a society where external validation is often sought after and prized, Aurelius' words serve as a poignant reminder of the importance of cultivating an internal locus of control. When we constantly seek approval or validation from others, we relinquish our agency over our own emotional state, allowing external opinions and judgments to dictate our sense of self-worth and well-being. Stoic philosophy challenges this external locus of control by emphasizing the power of introspection and self-awareness. Instead of placing undue emphasis on external validation, Stoicism encourages individuals to cultivate a deep understanding of their own thoughts and emotions, thereby reclaiming agency over their inner lives. Stoic philosophy teaches us the value of discretion in our interactions with others. While emotional authenticity is often lauded in contemporary discourse, the Stoics recognize that not all emotions need to be expressed outwardly. In fact, they believed that indiscriminate emotional expression could lead to unnecessary conflict, discord, and even harm. Instead, the Stoics advocated for a more measured approach to emotional expression, where individuals carefully consider the impact of their words and actions on themselves and others. This concept of discretion is rooted in the Stoic belief that true wisdom lies in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent, when to act and when to refrain from action. By exercising discretion in our emotional expression, we not only cultivate greater self-control and inner peace, but also foster healthier and more harmonious relationships with those around us. Rather than reacting impulsively to every passing emotion, we learn to respond thoughtfully and intentionally, taking into account the potential consequences of our words and actions. In the age of social media and constant connectivity, the importance of discretion has perhaps never been more relevant. With the click of a button, we can instantly share our thoughts and feelings with the world, often without pausing to consider the implications of our actions. However, Stoic philosophy reminds us that true emotional maturity involves more than just unbridled self-expression. It requires careful discernment and self-restraint. Consider, for example, moments in your own life when you may have shared personal successes or cherished values in hopes of receiving affirmation or validation from others. Perhaps you enthusiastically shared news of a promotion at work, only to be met with indifference or jealousy from colleagues. Or maybe you expressed a deeply held belief or conviction, only to face criticism or ridicule from friends or family members. These experiences can be deeply disheartening, as they highlight the inherent risks of seeking external validation and approval. However, what if we were to reclaim control over our own emotional state, independent of external feedback? This is where the practice of discretion comes into play. Choosing not to disclose every sentiment or belief is not an act of withholding or repression. Rather, it is an assertion of personal autonomy and self-possession. It entails recognizing that not every thought or feeling requires external validation, and that our internal experiences are valid and worthy in their own right. By exercising this discipline, we cultivate a sense of inner confidence and resilience, rooted in the knowledge that our feelings, values, and perspectives are steadfast and immutable, regardless of others' opinions. In the journey toward emotional detachment, this principle of discretion serves as a safeguard, ensuring that our emotional foundation remains firm and unshakable amidst the ever-changing currents of external influence. By refraining from seeking validation from others, we insulate ourselves from the potential pitfalls of seeking approval or recognition outside of ourselves. Instead, we draw strength from within, finding validation and affirmation in our own inner wisdom and self-assurance. Moreover, the practice of discretion allows us to maintain a sense of privacy and personal boundaries, preserving the sanctity of our innermost thoughts and emotions. In a world where oversharing and constant exposure have become the norm, the ability to cultivate a sense of privacy and discretion is more important than ever. By choosing what to share and what to keep private, we exercise agency over our own narrative and protect ourselves from the vulnerabilities that can arise from excessive disclosure. Furthermore, discretion enables us to navigate social interactions with greater ease and finesse, allowing us to tailor our communication to suit the context and the individuals involved. Rather than sharing every thought or feeling indiscriminately, we can choose our words and actions thoughtfully, considering the impact they may have on others and the situation at hand. This not only fosters deeper connections and understanding, but also helps to prevent misunderstandings and conflicts from arising. In essence, the practice of discretion is a powerful tool for maintaining emotional balance and resilience in an increasingly complex and interconnected world. By reclaiming control over our own emotional state and asserting our autonomy in choosing when and how to share our innermost thoughts and feelings, we cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-assurance that is immune to the fluctuations of external influence. In doing so, we honor the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers and pave the way for a life of greater clarity, authenticity, and fulfillment. Number 6. Establish limits. In today's hyper-connected world, the notion of setting limits and establishing boundaries may seem like a daunting task. With the pervasive influence of technology and social media, there's an implicit expectation to always be available, responsive, and accessible. Yet, the Stoic philosophers understood the importance of time, self-reflection, and preserving one's identity amidst the demands of society. As Seneca astutely observed, all the time you possess is truly yours. However, in a world where constant connectivity reigns supreme, how often do we squander our precious time and energy by succumbing to the pressures of always being on call, responding instantly to notifications, and meeting every demand without hesitation? When we fail to set limits, we essentially relinquish control over our own time, energy, and emotions, allowing external forces to dictate our lives and diminish our sense of worth. Imagine leaving the doors and windows of your home wide open, inviting anyone and anything to enter and disrupt your peace of mind. By establishing boundaries, we signal to the world and to ourselves that our time, energy, and emotional well-being are valuable and deserving of protection. Setting limits is an act of self-respect and self-care, affirming our right to prioritize our own needs and desires. Moreover, setting clear limits is essential for preserving our mental health and emotional well-being. In a society where burnout and exhaustion have become all too common, it's imperative to safeguard our emotional reserves and maintain a sense of inner peace and balance. By establishing boundaries around our time and energy, we create a protective barrier against the relentless demands of modern life, ensuring that we have the space and resources to nurture our own well-being. When we fail to set boundaries, we open ourselves up to a myriad of negative consequences. Without limits in place, we may find ourselves overwhelmed and depleted, constantly giving to others at the expense of our own well-being. This can lead to feelings of resentment, frustration, and burnout as we struggle to meet the expectations and demands placed upon us by others. Furthermore, without clear boundaries, we may find ourselves unable to prioritize our own needs and desires, constantly putting the needs of others ahead of our own. This can lead to a sense of powerlessness and loss of control over our own lives, as we become increasingly reliant on external validation and approval to feel worthy and fulfilled. Setting limits is not about being selfish or uncaring. Rather, it's about recognizing our own worth and taking responsibility for our own well-being. It's about establishing healthy boundaries that allow us to balance our own needs with the needs of others, ensuring that we can give freely and generously without sacrificing our own mental and emotional health in the process. Setting limits can help us cultivate a greater sense of self-respect and self-esteem. When we assert our boundaries and refuse to compromise our own values and principles, we send a powerful message to ourselves and others that we are worthy of respect and consideration. This can boost our confidence and self-assurance, empowering us to assert ourselves more confidently in all areas of our lives. In addition to preserving our mental health and emotional well-being, setting limits can also improve the quality of our relationships. By clearly communicating our boundaries to others, we can avoid misunderstandings and conflicts that can arise when our needs and expectations are not clearly defined. This can foster greater trust and intimacy in our relationships as we learn to respect and honor each other's boundaries. On the journey to becoming emotionless, setting clear limits is not just a matter of self-preservation, it's also a strategy for cultivating resilience and fortitude in the face of adversity. When we assertively protect our time and energy, we strengthen our emotional resilience and become better equipped to navigate life's challenges with grace and equanimity. Instead of being constantly at the mercy of external demands and expectations, we reclaim control over our own lives and assert our autonomy in determining how we choose to allocate our resources. Furthermore, setting limits allows us to cultivate a greater sense of clarity and focus in our lives. By establishing boundaries around our time and energy, we create the space for deeper self-reflection, introspection, and personal growth. We give ourselves permission to prioritize activities and relationships that truly matter to us, while also recognizing the importance of rest, relaxation, and rejuvenation. In essence, setting limits is an act of self-empowerment and self-care. It's about recognizing our inherent worth and asserting our right to prioritize our own well-being. By establishing boundaries around our time, energy, and emotions, we create the space for greater self-awareness, resilience, and fulfillment. On the journey to becoming emotionless, setting clear limits is not just a strategy, it's a fundamental principle for cultivating inner peace, balance, and strength in an increasingly chaotic and demanding world. However, the process of setting limits and establishing boundaries is not always straightforward. It requires self-awareness, assertiveness, and a willingness to confront societal expectations and norms. It also involves recognizing and challenging deeply ingrained beliefs and patterns of behavior that may be contributing to feelings of overwhelm and exhaustion. In order to effectively set limits, it's important to first identify our own needs, priorities, and values, and then communicate them assertively and respectfully to others. One of the key challenges in setting limits is overcoming feelings of guilt or obligation that may arise when we prioritize our own needs over the demands of others. Many of us have been socialized to believe that putting ourselves first is selfish or indulgent, and that we should always be available to meet the needs and expectations of others. However, this mindset can be detrimental to our mental and emotional well-being, leading to feelings of resentment, burnout, and exhaustion. To overcome these challenges, it's important to reframe our understanding of self-care and prioritize our own well-being without guilt or shame. Self-care is not selfish. It's essential for maintaining our physical, mental, and emotional health. By setting limits and establishing boundaries, we are not only taking care of ourselves, but also setting a positive example for others and creating healthier and more sustainable relationships. Another challenge in setting limits is navigating the potential conflict or resistance that may arise from others. Not everyone will respect or understand our boundaries, and we may encounter pushback or criticism from those who are accustomed to having unrestricted access to our time and energy. In these situations, it's important to stay firm and assertive in communicating our boundaries, while also being open to negotiation and compromise where appropriate. Setting limits and establishing boundaries is a process of self-discovery and self-assertion. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to challenge the status quo. By prioritizing our own needs and values, we create the space for greater self-fulfillment, happiness, and resilience. As we journey towards emotional detachment and inner peace, setting clear limits becomes an essential tool for navigating the complexities of modern life with grace and integrity. Number 7. Embrace adversity and find strength in challenges. Life is a journey filled with twists and turns, presenting us with a myriad of obstacles and challenges that test our resolve and resilience. From navigating the complexities of work situations to grappling with issues in relationships and personal health, adversity can manifest itself in various forms and at any time. However, rather than allowing ourselves to be paralyzed by fear or overwhelmed by despair, Stoic philosophy teaches us to view these challenges as opportunities for growth and self-discovery. By embracing adversity with courage, determination, and an open mind, we can transform setbacks into stepping stones, using them as opportunities to cultivate inner strength and fortitude. Accepting difficulties and facing challenges are integral parts of the human experience and essential for personal growth and resilience. Life is not always smooth and easy, and challenges can arise at any time. Whether it's a high-pressure work deadline, conflicts in relationships, or unexpected setbacks in personal health, these challenges can evoke strong emotions and trigger stress and anxiety. However, rather than succumbing to fear or despair, Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into building emotional resilience and maintaining an optimistic and calm spirit in all circumstances. As the deadline for the important project draws near, the pressure mounts and feelings of fear and uncertainty begin to loom large. It's a familiar scenario for many of us, one where the weight of expectations and the specter of failure can feel overwhelming. However, in moments like these, Stoic principles offer a beacon of hope and guidance, showing us a path to navigate through the storm with resilience and grace. At the core of Stoic philosophy lies the principle of maintaining emotional equilibrium in the face of adversity. Rather than allowing ourselves to be consumed by negative emotions such as fear and anxiety, Stoicism teaches us to cultivate inner calm and focus. By practicing mindfulness and emotional control, we can shift our perspective from one of panic to one of clarity, enabling us to approach challenges with a sense of purpose and determination. One key aspect of Stoic philosophy is the recognition that external events are often beyond our control. The looming deadline, the high stakes of the project, and the pressure from others may all be sources of stress, but ultimately, we cannot change these circumstances. What we can control, however, is how we choose to respond to them. instead of letting ourselves be swept away by the tide of external pressures. Stoicism teaches us to anchor ourselves in our own agency, focusing on the things within our power to influence. In practical terms, this means shifting our focus from dwelling on the magnitude of the challenge to identifying actionable steps we can take to address it. Rather than succumbing to feelings of overwhelm, we break the project down into smaller, more manageable tasks, prioritizing our efforts based on what needs to be done first. By adopting a systematic approach to problem solving, we regain a sense of agency and control over the situation, empowering us to move forward with confidence. Moreover, Stoic philosophy encourages us to embrace the impermanence of external circumstances. While the pressure of the looming deadline may feel all-encompassing in the present moment, Stoicism reminds us that this too shall pass. By cultivating a mindset of acceptance and detachment, we free ourselves from the grip of anxiety and fear, allowing us to approach the situation with greater clarity and perspective. In the face of adversity, Stoicism teaches us to view challenges as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. Rather than seeing setbacks as insurmountable obstacles, we reframe them as valuable learning experiences that can strengthen our resilience and character. By embracing the mindset of the Stoic sage who faces adversity with courage and equanimity, we transform moments of difficulty into catalysts for personal development and growth. Marcus Aurelius famously emphasized the importance of recognizing the power of the mind in controlling our reactions to external events. He wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound insight lies at the heart of Stoic philosophy, highlighting the notion that while we may not always have control over external circumstances, we have the power to control our internal responses. This principle underscores the importance of acknowledging that while we cannot fully control external events, we have complete control over our minds and how we choose to react to those events. By recognizing this truth, we can cultivate emotional resilience and develop a steadfast spirit that remains unaffected by the fluctuations of life. Rather than being slaves to our emotions, we become masters of them, enabling us to maintain an optimistic, calm, and unwavering demeanor in the face of difficulties. With this rule of Stoic philosophy, we can build a spirit of patience and resilience that empowers us to face life's challenges with strength and determination. By laying the foundation for emotional control and resilience, we create a roadmap for personal growth and self-improvement, paving the way for a future that we can be proud of. Armed with the 7 Stoic rules, we equip ourselves with the tools and mindset necessary to navigate life's uncertainties with grace, dignity, and unwavering resolve. In essence, every difficulty and challenge we encounter is an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By embracing adversity with courage and determination, we cultivate emotional resilience and develop the inner strength needed to overcome life's obstacles. Stoic philosophy offers valuable insights into building emotional control and maintaining a calm and optimistic spirit in the face of adversity. As we journey through life, let us remember that we are the masters of our own minds and the architects of our own destinies. By choosing to cultivate emotional resilience and face challenges with courage and determination, we empower ourselves to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and meaning. Number 8. Make yourself a priority. As we delve deeper into the realm of emotional resilience, we encounter Rule 8, which highlights the paramount importance of self-care and adopting a direct approach to navigating life's challenges. At its core, this rule emphasizes the need to prioritize oneself, recognizing that true emotional strength and success stem from a foundation of self-care and self-awareness. It's not about neglecting others or being selfish. Rather, It's about understanding that we cannot effectively support or help others if we neglect our own well-being. This concept is akin to the safety instructions given on airplanes, where passengers are advised to secure their own oxygen masks before assisting others. In life too, we must prioritize our emotional and mental health to be of genuine assistance to those around us. Being direct is another crucial aspect of cultivating emotional resilience. It involves clear communication of thoughts, desires, and boundaries without ambiguity or hesitation. Directness doesn't equate to harshness. Rather, it is about speaking honestly and assertively, sidestepping vague hints or attempts to please everyone. By being direct, we can avoid misunderstandings, reduce tension in relationships, and foster genuine connections with individuals who value authenticity and transparency. Today, self-care frequently becomes a casualty of our relentless pursuit of productivity and success. Yet, the irony lies in the fact that neglecting our own well-being ultimately undermines our capacity to fulfill our responsibilities and support those around us. It's akin to trying to drive a car on an empty tank. Sooner or later, we'll sputter to a halt. Recognizing the importance of self-care is not an act of selfishness, but rather a fundamental necessity for leading a balanced and fulfilling life. Self-care encompasses a spectrum of practices aimed at nurturing our physical, emotional, and mental health. It involves carving out dedicated time and space in our busy schedules to engage in activities that replenish and rejuvenate us. These activities can vary widely depending on individual preferences and needs, ranging from physical exercise and meditation to creative pursuits and quality time spent with loved ones. Physical self-care entails taking care of our bodies through regular exercise, nourishing food, and adequate rest. Engaging in physical activity not only enhances our physical health, but also releases endorphins, the body's natural mood lifters, promoting a sense of well-being and vitality. Similarly, prioritizing nutritious meals and sufficient sleep provides our bodies with the fuel and energy they need to function optimally, boosting our resilience in the face of stress and adversity. Emotional self-care involves cultivating practices that foster emotional resilience and balance. This may include journaling, practicing gratitude, or seeking support from trusted friends or mental health professionals. By acknowledging and processing our emotions in a healthy way, we can prevent them from festering and escalating into more significant issues. Moreover, setting boundaries and learning to say no when necessary are essential aspects of emotional self-care, allowing us to protect our energy and prioritize activities that truly nourish us. Mental self-care focuses on nurturing our cognitive well-being and fostering a positive mindset. Engaging in activities that challenge our minds, such as reading, learning new skills, or solving puzzles, helps keep our brains sharp and agile. Additionally, practicing mindfulness and meditation can help quiet the incessant chatter of our thoughts, promoting inner calm and clarity. Cultivating a mindset of self-compassion and self-acceptance is also crucial for mental well-being, as it allows us to navigate life's challenges with greater resilience and equanimity. Creative self-care involves expressing ourselves authentically and tapping into our innate creativity. Whether it's painting, writing, playing music, or engaging in any other form of artistic expression, creative activities offer an outlet for self-expression and exploration. They allow us to connect with our innermost thoughts and feelings, fostering a sense of fulfillment and purpose. Moreover, creative endeavors can serve as a powerful form of stress relief, helping us unwind and recharge after a long day. Lastly, relational self-care revolves around nurturing healthy and fulfilling relationships with others. This involves investing time and effort into building and maintaining meaningful connections with friends, family members, and colleagues. Spending quality time with loved ones, engaging in meaningful conversations, and offering support and encouragement are all essential aspects of relational self-care. Moreover, setting boundaries in relationships and surrounding ourselves with people who uplift and support us is crucial for maintaining emotional well-being. In conclusion, in a fast-paced and demanding world, self-care often takes a backseat to the needs and expectations of others. However, neglecting our own well-being ultimately hinders our ability to function effectively and support those around us. Just as a car cannot run on an empty tank, we cannot sustainably give to others without replenishing our own emotional reserves. Prioritizing self-care involves carving out time for activities that nurture our physical, emotional, and mental well-being, whether it's through exercise, meditation, creative expression, or spending time with loved ones. Additionally, adopting a direct approach to communication is essential for fostering healthy relationships and resolving conflicts effectively. By clearly expressing our thoughts, feelings, and boundaries, we minimize misunderstandings and create a foundation of trust and respect in our interactions with others. Direct communication allows us to address issues head-on rather than letting them fester and potentially escalate into larger problems. Furthermore, living authentically and in alignment with our values is key to cultivating emotional resilience. When we prioritize our own needs and stay true to ourselves, we develop a strong sense of self-worth and inner peace that enables use to weather life's storms with grace and confidence. This authenticity also attracts like-minded individuals into our lives, fostering deeper connections and a supportive network of allies who share our values and aspirations. Rule 8 serves as a reminder of the importance of self-care, prioritization, and directness in cultivating emotional resilience. By taking the time to nurture our own well-being, communicating openly and honestly, and living authentically, we empower ourselves to navigate life's challenges with confidence and grace. As we embrace these principles and channel our inner strength, we become better equipped to overcome obstacles and pursue our goals with passion and determination. So, let us commit to prioritizing ourselves, embracing direct communication, and living authentically as we embark on our journey toward emotional resilience and personal fulfillment. As we conclude our exploration of Stoic philosophy, we emerge equipped with a powerful arsenal of principles to guide us through life's challenges. With the 8 Stoic rules as our compass, we stand as spiritual warriors ready to face every difficulty and challenge with wisdom and determination. We embrace the inherent opportunities for growth and transformation in life's trials, knowing that we possess the power to shape our own destinies. As we navigate the ever-changing currents of existence, we refuse to be swayed by negative emotions, remaining steadfast in our focus and determination. With each passing day, we reaffirm our commitment to self-improvement and personal growth, recognizing that life is a journey of constant evolution. So, before we part ways, I urge you to subscribe to our channel and join us on this transformative journey. Together, let us spread the wisdom of Stoic philosophy far and wide, empowering others to embrace their inner strength and conquer life's challenges. Remember, you are the architect of your own destiny, and with the principles of Stoicism as your guide, there is no limit to what you can achieve.